Thanks for joining us at Community Recovery. We are a Christ-centered 12-step program for anyone and their families struggling with hurt, pains, or addictions of any kind. We meet at Shelby Christian Church in Shelbyville, Kentucky every Wednesday from 6:30 to 8. Please join us. Tonight is testimony night. Dean Burke's going to open us up with the chip ceremony and then welcome Bev Morgan.
All right. Welcome to everyone, all the new people, Eddie's family, everybody else. Great to see you all again. Here at Community Recovery, we also do a chip program to recognize those milestones as you come across them. And we like to recognize you when you get to those, because we understand how important that is, not only to your recovery, but to your family, to your loved ones, to see your progress. So we at Community Recovery, we start out with a blue chip. It's called the Starting Point chip. And as I say every time I do the chips, out of all these chips, this one right here is the most important, more important than all these other ones combined. And the reason for that is you can't get to any of these until you get this one. So it's a big step, and I know sometimes it might be a little nervous or whatever, but just know you're among good people here. This is a great group. We're all working on something. So whatever brought you here tonight, you came to the right place. So if there is anyone here tonight that would like to start their journey on their recovery, no matter what that may be, you can come up and get a blue starting point chip. Anyone tonight? Right here. All right. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to start their journey tonight? Hi, Michael. All right.
Hi, Michael.
Michael.
Anyone tonight have 30 days? All right. Anyone else 30 days? Keep it going. Here it goes. Congratulations. Anyone else 30 days? 60 days? How about 90? 90 days? 4 months? Anyone 4 months? 5 months? 5 months. How about 6? 7 months? 8? All right, buddy Kevin. 9 months? 10 months? 11 months? Anyone 11 months? And there's a good guy that I'm getting ready to bring up here tonight that we've had the pleasure to get to know over the last several months. And so before I bring him up, is there anyone here tonight getting that's at your 1 year mark? If you are coming up on your 1 year mark, let us know, let Dennis know. You'll get a nice chip engraved with your name on it. So give us a little heads up that you're coming up on that. And matter of fact, this one right here that I'm holding in my hand says 1 year, Mr. Eddie McSwain. Come on up here.
Feels like an eternity in in the chaos of addiction. I've certainly had a year at a time, 365 consecutive days of not being an addict, and this is for alcohol specifically. And but I didn't have God in my life. In fact, I downright hated God, and I used to judge places like this and you all for doing this and think that it was all just, that works for them, not for me. This isn't for me. I can do it on my own. So this is the first like serious chip for me. You know, I've gotten just where I just went through the motions, but I didn't recover. I didn't get a sponsor. I didn't believe. I didn't do nothing. This is the first one that is all God and just me surrendering to His will.
Yeah.
Amen.
So, this one is really important to me because I can't take any credit for none of it. You know, it's all God's doing. Everything had to happen exactly the way that it happened. The good, the bad, everything that there to get to this point. So I appreciate this program. I appreciate all of you and for God directing me, because the only, you know, it was just by chance. It was just, there was Narcotics Anonymous happening in that room at that time, and I came in for that. And then I stuck around and asked, like, what else is there? What else does this church have to offer? I want to get to know God. I want to surrender my life to Christ. I knew that I wanted to do it, and so this is the place that God got me there, in that room over there, to get out here, to get in this, and to get to know all of you. And so now having you all in this church and this support system is all God directed. So I hope and I pray that, you know, get many more of these, but to also see you all get many more of these, and to be there for you all to be up here. So thank you all. Cool. Most importantly, thank God.
Eddie, congratulations, Eddie. Man, I mean, what can I say? That's what it's all about. That's to watch somebody like Eddie grow and everything. It just, you know, it just makes you feel good. And like he said, until we get to that point that, you know, we just turn everything over to God, it's a struggle. And this, man, when you turn your will over to God, the care of God, amazing things happen. And Eddie, I appreciate you, buddy. I always look forward to seeing your face here every week. And this is a good group, and that's what it's all about right there, to see progress being made. So without further ado, our speaker, where is she at? There she is.
My name is Beverly. I'm a recovering addict, grateful recovering addict. My clean date is March the 28th, 2017. Very nerve-wracking right here. And I go to NA, which I don't shun no recovering place, because it's all God.
Right.
If it wasn't for God, we wouldn't be here in none of these rooms. But my home group is Another Chance group, which used to come here. You know, it's kind of hard for me because I sit out in the parking lot for a few minutes, because in NA, when I get excited, some little words come out of my mouth. On Father's Day, my son got baptized, and then my two kids baptized me. Because when I first came into recovery, and I was watching another friend in recovery get baptized, and I felt like I had to get baptized, because I thought that's what God wanted me to do. So I went on and got baptized, but see, I went through a rough spell. I didn't get high, but any recovering addict knows that we're high in our mind before we actually put the drug in us. You know, I went through a spell to where I didn't care what anybody had to say, and I shunned everybody, and I was better than, and because I had a little bit more clean time. Well, see, I know it don't matter. The person coming in here for the first day is more important than I am, and I'm not messed up about that. And I'm going to tell you a little bit where I was at and how I got here. See, I was at one of those soccer moms. And I was there for my kids. They all played football. They all played volleyball is just, I was there for them. I was the big time mom that lived in the middle of town. And I was missing something. You know, when I was little, my mom tried to teach me about God. I tried to go to church, and I was like, that's not my thing. I'd rather be at home, riding my bike, playing with my friends, or smacking my friends around, whatever I happened to be doing that day. But as my kids got older, I had a big void in my heart, and I just couldn't find it. So then I started hanging with the younger crowd. I started hanging with my kids' friends, and next thing I know, I was running my marriage and experimenting with harder drugs, because you know, everybody when they was young, they always tried to drink or smoke some weed. You know, I done all that, but then, you know, I was introduced to some harder stuff, and I that right there took the pain I had, or the void that I had in me. So of course, I felt that's what I needed, and that was my void. I went with it and I ran with it, and of course I drug not just myself, but my family to the pits of hell with me, because they chased me, they tried to help me, to where they finally said, I can't do you no more. So I spent my time in and out of jail. I got to where when I got tired, I couldn't wait to get arrested, because I knew it was going to be my resting place. And I missed a lot out of 2 of my grandbabies growing up. My daughters getting married, my son getting married. And this last time into jail, I called my daughter, and of course I said, you know, I'm locked up again. And she said, well, Mom, I can't do this no more. She said, I'm pregnant, and I'm married again. So that's when I knew what my void was. I hit my knees right there in the middle of jail. And I told God I couldn't do it no more. So I asked for drug court, and I'm a graduate of that for 5 years now.
Yes.
I graduated 5 years ago. In that place, I'm truly grateful for. And I was going to a wake, I was helping out at the Serenity Center, and I found what God can do for people. I know today I am the testimony standing here, because I have made it 6+ years. And I chased my recovery harder than I chased my dope. Every time one of my sponsees called me and says, Beverly, we need help, what do I tell you to?
Pray.
Pray on it. Because he's the only one that's going to get you through anything. You know, it's hard to understand, because before my son got baptized, he said, Mom, how do you go with somebody that you can't see? But I do see. I do hear him. And I do feel him every day. When you got that feeling right here, or that, that's God talking to you. Don't think it's you, it's God talking to you. You know, my mother finally said and shut the door in my face and said, I can't do you no more, I can't help you no more. But I'm grateful today, my mama got to see me 3 years clean before she passed. And I'm not gonna let her down now, can't. See, my higher power, which I choose to call God, has got me through getting in them cars with them strangers and being able to get out of those cars with them strangers. I'm lucky because every time I walk these streets of Shelbyville, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I got to see another day. See, God was with me every day of my addiction, but I was too stubborn to see that. But see, now, today, I can see that. Today, I hold keys to a major store in town because I'm a manager of it and they trust me of it. See, I carry myself as God sees me. I carry myself as God wants me to carry myself. I don't worry. People ask me, how do you see yourself down the road? And I tell them who I hang around with. If you want to know what you're going to be like in 10 years, Take a look at your friends. I see my friends out there. Nobody cared about me. I see my friends today, and it's people in recovery. You know, God's got me in the middle of town, in the middle of 10th Street. And my house next door is the trap house. People say, how do you do it? God wants me here. God put me here to show people that we do recover. And I'm not scared to share God's word anywhere or anytime. People say, don't you get tired of that? Nope. You never got tired of me. Every time I want to take this left, he was right there taking it with me. Why am I going to give up on him today? You know, I started in my recovery with a dog, a little shack in dead winter. I had to unthaw my dog's water every morning just so she could drink, because I had no heat, no nothing. Now I got the same number, and I've had it for the same number for 6 years. See, because I don't have to turn off my phone. Because I'm broke today because I can pay my bills today. Been in the same spot for a little over 5 years because I did start in that little shack. Because God is with me. And I'm not scared to tell nobody who he is. Who got you here? Huh? My higher power. Who done this? Huh? My higher power. Why? Because he loves me no matter what. He will never leave me or forsake me. Never. He will fix a table in front of my enemies. And I don't care. Fix it. I don't want enemies. I don't like drama. I just try to get up and keep my side of the street clean. Because today, I love myself. And today I can love others. And I'm not scared to tell anybody that. Because my higher power got me through some stuff. And there's a lot of people in these rooms that I've got high with. And I didn't think that I would ever see him come through the door. We got Richard. Richard, I love you, man. We've been through some stuff. I got a sponsee, Eddie. Got a sponsee, Melissa. You know, they keep me on my toes. They keep me where I'm at. Do I do the perfect program? No. Do I work the steps over and over and over and over and over? No. But see, when I got sponsees, they keep me on my toes. They keep me working them steps. And I have to do step 1, 2, and 3 every day. I gotta admit that I'm with my addiction that I have beat and still beating. I have got white lesions on my brain, and it's hard for me to remember a lot of stuff because of all the drug use. But I know I'm powerless. He's gonna restore me and surrender was the first thing, and I have to surrender every day. Because what happens on this side of my door, I got control over. But once I open that door and walk outside, I ain't got control over nothing. I walk out there and say, you got me. Which way you want me to go? And I get in my car and I go to work. I try my best. I try my hardest. I come home. I go to meetings. I do service work. And today's my birthday. 55 today. And you know what else is amazing? Dave is 44 years today. Sobriety. Yes. See, I knew something y'all don't know. I'm truly grateful for Dave. You know, he used to bring people to my house. You gonna stay here for a while. I met some amazing people through Awake, and just by being on the streets, just because I felt like they had something in them that they were gonna make it. And I'm just truly grateful today I can be a part of society and people not run because I'm coming. You know, when I stole from my mom, I've done all that. And when I got in recovery, my mom came and lived with me, and it was so surprising Well, my mom went to bed and I said, Mom, you're forgetting your purse. She said, I don't need to do it today. I said, wow, you really do believe me this time. Because, everybody's got that, I'm going to quit. I'm not going to do it no more until you get out. And the first thing you do is run down the street and go get high. But it made me feel so much better knowing that my mama trusted me then. I got my kids back. I've got 6 grandkids. Ooh. I told my kids, I said, that's enough. Don't need no. My youngest is 9 months and she's beginning to crawl. So then he's talking about having a boy. I'm like, oh wow, gonna try for a boy, Mom. Nah. Got all girls but one boy. But I don't know. I just grateful that God never gave up on me. Truly grateful that I can walk the streets with my head held high today.
Amen.
Yes. Truly grateful that I don't have to put a substance into me to get through a day. I can get, no matter how bad my day is, I can get through it by walking with God. And I'm not messed up about that today. I sat outside and I said, oh, because in my other fellowship, they get a little crazy. But when I got baptized again, I've been working on my language. And it's getting a whole lot better because if anybody knew me, I cussed like a sailor. And I said, God, you've got to get me out the way and work through me today. And I think he's done a great job, but I just need you all to keep your head up. Don't ever give up because life is so much better on this side of the fence than it is on that one.
That's all right.
Because he's never going to leave you and he's never going to forsake you. He's going to take you by the right hand and guide you each and every day. Because I am a testimony that he can do that. All of us are. My story is not big. My story, everybody knows how to get high. But my story is put your faith in God and he'll get you through anything. And that's all I got.
So guys, my name's Dennis, for those of you that don't know me. I see some new faces in the room tonight, so welcome. We do 12-step program here, of course, NA, AA, Celebrate Recovery, all of those. We've kind of morphed into what we call community recovery here. We do our 12 steps over 16 weeks, so we do step 1, 2, and 3, and then on that 4th week we'll stop and do just what we did tonight, either a testimony, we'll have a guest speaker in the house, something like that. And then when we get all the way to the last week, that week 16, we do what we call a celebration night. So we'll just have a casual night, everybody brings a dish, or we'll have a worship, somebody will play a few songs or something like that. It varies. We try to change it up sometimes, but thank you, Bev, so much for coming. I know Dave reached out to you earlier this week, so it was kind of short notice, but we appreciate you coming. Beverly, I've known Beverly for several years, kind of on and off through the recovery program. We met up at a wake a long time ago. And one of the first guys that I had actually went on and sponsored one-on-one, a fellow by the name of Jamie Osborne. We nicknamed Tattoo was his nickname. I know a couple of us called him that around the church, but just a great guy that was struggling and had struggled all his life. Until Bev come in the picture, because what she's talking about, she lives right down here downtown on 10th Street, and it's a rough little spot down there. But she opened her doors to Jamie and actually rented him a room in her house and let him come. And one thing's for sure, Bev, I gotta give it to you, you don't take no crap. And she held him to the fire, she held him to it and said, this is what we're gonna do, this is how you're gonna do it. And to this day, he's a productive member of society, he's working hard, got some babies now, I think married, and he's got it going on. So a lot of that, I credit to you for that. So thank you for having your doors open to folks, that really means a lot when we've got folks like that in the community. And it's more than just Jamie, because like you said, Dave How many times did he show up at your house, you know?
Too many.
Yeah, right. So, and Dave, by the way, is our pastor here at Shelby Christian Church. For those of you that don't know who we're talking about, it's Dave Hamlin. And he has actually got a recovery story of his own from his own family issues that have went throughout the years. So this is near and dear and very, very passionate to him and his wife, Kim. When we branched off from Awake Ministries, that's why we wanted to get this going here at church and kind of do our own thing. So it's worked out well. As you can see, we've got a nice room crowd here tonight. So a couple pointers real quick, and then we'll break up for some small groups. But one thing you said, you said something about God, like you got to be looking for him, right? I mean, you said we can see God or I can't remember exactly how you worded it, but God's there, guys, you know, and if we're struggling and we're having a hard time, we have to seek him. It's not that we have to sit around and wait for God to show up, because he never left. He's there every single day. I know, I'm speaking from me personally. My life, I spent the first 40 years of my life running from God. And the whole time now that I look back on that life, all I had to do was stop and turn around, and he was right there the whole time. I mean, I can name multiple things in my life that have happened where I probably shouldn't even be alive today, you know, but for the grace of God, his mercy, I'm here today to talk to you guys, and so is Bev. So we've got those experiences, but he's there. I mean, we just have to seek him. He's not gonna chase us down and beat us over the head with it. We have to want it. But if we want freedom from these addictions, from these struggles that we have every day, from the anxiety, pornography, it doesn't just have to be substance abuse, doesn't have to be putting a needle in your arm, doesn't have to be picking up the bottle. It can be a lot of other things in our lives. God can help you with that. Mm-hmm. These 12 steps can help you with that. And they have. There's a room full of people here. How many people in the room have more than a year of sobriety, of whatever your issue is?
Yeah, you raise my hand now.
That's right. You know, Beverly to me is step 12.
Yeah.
That's step 12. I mean, somebody that's willing to open their doors for people that are struggling, you know. How else can you describe sharing hope for people? You know, I mean, that's amazing. When she was talking a minute ago, it made me think about what she said, keeping my side of the street clean or something. She said something like that. You know, and every time I hear that, I go to that. There's like a video running around TikTok or Facebook, I don't know what it is, but there's that little girl in the back seat in the car seat. She's going, "Worry about yourself. Worry about yourself." You know? And I don't know why I go to that, but it cracks me up every time I think of it. But when we're keeping our side of the street clean, it just means, you know, let's focus on us. Quit worrying about what everybody else is doing, what your buddies are doing, what your so-called friends are doing down the street when they're out getting high or going to the strip clubs or fighting, whatever it is, I don't know. But we got to worry about ourselves. You know, when we get ourselves clean, get ourselves straightened out, then we can share that hope. You know, we can help other people, and we can get that year of sobriety. Right, Eddie?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's awesome. When you get to that milestone, I mean, it's hard enough to come up and get that first chip, right? I mean, we've talked about that before, Dean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the toughest one, really tough one, because you're giving up, in a sense.
Yeah.
But we're not giving up in the mindset that we're giving up. We're giving up to God. We're surrendering. We're telling God we can't do this by ourselves. We need help. That's what that first chip's all about. That's why we call that first chip the starting point. Because you're laying it down at the foot of the cross and you're starting a new life. That's, to us, that's what that blue chip represents. Again, thank you, Bev, for coming. Thank you for sharing. I had no idea you was Eddie's sponsor, but that's awesome. That's awesome. You picked a good one, Eddie. You couldn't have got a better one. So now that Eddie's done with his 1 year, right, you're going to move. You need another one, recruit? We'll hook you right up. No, thank you for that. Let's take a few minutes. It's what time we got? 18 after yesterday. Thanks for joining us at Community Recovery for Testimony Night. Remember, we meet every Wednesday, 6:30 to 8 p.m. at Shelby Christian Church in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Everyone is welcome. Please come and join us. Thanks for watching.